Hi Ari, it's Travis here, and welcome back to our adventures in Azeroth. Last episode, we slayed 6 Dalaran summoners and 12 elemental slaves for our friend over here in this hut named Magus Wardine Void Glare. But today, we are going to get out of Terran Mill, and we are going back to Kalimdor,
What do you
on the other side of the world.
Do not.
So we're going to have to take a flight to Undercity. And we're going to take a Zeppelin from there to Ogramar. And then we are going to travel to Sunrock Retreat. And pick up a quest that is there that we left on the table. So yeah, we're back to traveling, guys. We've done as much as we could in Terran Mill and Hammerfall. Thinking about going to Desolus. We are getting in that level range. So when we hit 36, Desolus is a great place to be. We have a couple of quests in Thousand Needles that we haven't done yet. Yeah, Desolus seems to be the place where we will end up. And I assume you get there through the Charred Vale. So I think having a Sunrock Retreat as a questing hub, or as maybe the place for where our hearth is, will be good. So we can make our way to Desolus from there. Alright. We're in Tristfall Glades. Looks like we're going to be getting into the Undercity sewers pretty soon. Okay. Flying in. What are our gears looking? Maybe we have to repair it. Might be a good idea to get our alchemy up, maybe.
What do you require?
Claim treasures.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Some quests here.
What is it? Dark
Some quests in Undercity. Kind of want to see if I can repair my gear.
I have exactly what you need.
Go. Just want to check out the bank. Put some stuff away, hopefully. Yeah, it's looking pretty full right now. Could purchase a bag slot. We can start getting rid of these peace plumes. We have a lot of stuff on us. So I kind of want to get rid of. Bags are getting quite full.
What is it?
Got some gray items here. These summoner wands, I don't know how much they are. Be interested to see. Cave mold, this is just food. Wicked claw. We'll go to the auction house and put some stuff on there. I think I might just get rid of the two-handed sword. I don't think anyone's going to buy it.
I have exactly what you need.
Just get our 30 silver. And then we'll hit up the auction house. So I can focus on alchemy later. Maybe we should sell the peace plume too, since we have no use for it. Okay, looks like nobody's trying to sell these summoner wands, so I'm just gonna sell them. How about this gun? Okay, we'll put it up for 4 gold. Tried that last time and it didn't sell. And I think that's about it. We could put a Wicked Claw in there. sell them pretty cheap. Guess we'll sell ours for 9. For 9 silver. And we have a bunch of these hardened pants with thistle. Got these heavy stone. We have a lot of stuff to get rid of. Bags are getting quite full.
What now?
This can go. Where's the pants? That can go. There's fish oil. Fish oil is worth a bit. Raptor hide and that can go. Get rid of those. The rock chip we don't need. I think that's it. That's good enough for now. I don't think we're going to sell the jade or the small lustrous pearl. I think that's a decent amount of bag space. The rest we'll use to, I guess, get our first aid up. Oh yeah, I forgot to get our first aid up in Hammerfall. When we go back to Hammerfall, I guess I'll get our first aid up again. I believe I need to go there to get rune cloth up. To get it to the next level. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I have to do it in Hammerfall. Oh, whatever. We'll just have to wait on that. And use the bandages that we have. Only thing that sucks is we're going to start compiling a bunch of cloth in our bags. Alright, well, let's go to the Zeppelin. And we'll make our way over to Sunrock Retreat. Doesn't look like the Zeppelin's here yet. Hope we didn't just miss it. Check this priest's gear out. He has benediction. That's pretty strong. I wonder what guild he's in. Airy. Just never drops in my raid. The eye? It's supposed to drop off of I can't believe I forgot his name. Well, the boss before Rag. That Rag slays. After you summon him. He drops the eye and he never drops it for us. We always get the leaf for the hunters. So our priests have been struggling to get the eye. He's got, oh, not bad. He's got 6 set. We got another 32 shaman here.
Time is money, friend.
Check this warrior out. Quell Sarar and Corehound Tooth. Alright. Looks like he might be a tank. He's got some pretty nice gear. It's weird how he's using Quell Sarar and Corehound Tooth. He's got how much hit? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only has 6% hit. So that means he's not hit capped, which isn't good. Kills this guy in. Officers of the Lull. So many guilds I haven't even heard of. It's crazy. Yeah, he's got some decent gear. Must be nice to have an Onslaught Girdle. Our raid hasn't even seen an Onslaught Girdle drop yet, and we've been farming Ragnaros for months. So, yeah, and I'm not a high on the priority list to get it. Tanks don't really need an Onslaught Girdle, but it's nice to have. It's an amazing belt, especially if you need to hit. But since I'm rolling using axes, and I'm an orc, using axes gives you 3% hit, so I have pretty much the same hit as him. I have 6% hit on my gear, but I have axes, which give me 3, so it gives me hit cap. I think he's a Fury Prod warrior too. It sucks that you can't check their spec. I'm supposed to tell this guy, let's go. Priest with Benediction's pretty dope. Let's check that weapon out. Increases the critical effect chance on your holy spells by 2%. Increases healing done by spells by up to 106. Whoa. It's pretty dope. It's a lot of int, stamina, spirit, shadow resist. Undead Priests look dope. It's a cool set too. There, we're starting to fly off into Ogremar now, which is nice. Good old traveling, the classic. Is that what Crusader looks like? It's green. Yeah, I didn't get Quel'Thar R on my warrior. I just didn't think it was good. Because I have axes, so I didn't think I needed it. So I just never got it. We should probably buff up. Be nice if they gave us buffs. Buffs, please. Buff me. Buff me, please. Buff me, please. Please, priest, buff me. Come on, you should come on. Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Look at that. I got Fortitude, Stand by 32, 23 Spirit. Always ask for buffs, guys. Help out, they help out a lot. Does this guy have a mount? Oh no, he's going wolf form. Wolf form's nothing compared to cheetah. Do we have a talent? Yeah, we do. We have a talent point. Savage Fury. Primal Fury. Improved Shred. Yeah, we're gonna take Improved Shred. We're taking Improved Shred. Heart of the Wild, that's a really good one. Okay. Well, we're in Ogremar now. Let's roll out here. We'll try to run up. Run up here. And take our flight out to Sunrock Retreat.
What could I help you with?
Okay.
Go.
That's a big thing, guys. If you ever see a flight path, pick it up. Because you're most likely going to be using it. And it might be a connector to another one, so it's always good to get your flight paths. Let's check our gear out. We still don't have a neck or a helm. We've been using this vicious hammer for a while. It's still good. It's still a good hammer. I don't know when I'll replace it. Probably like level 40. I think I could use it all the way through 30s. And then maybe once I hit 40, I'll start looking into another weapon. The gear I'm getting from these quests it's not the greatest. That's another thing of leveling this way. Like, you don't really get amazing gear. Like, if I was doing dungeons, I would have some blue pieces by now, I think. And I'd probably have a neck and a helmet. I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. I think I'd have a helm. You get it? No, it'd be around this time when I'd start getting a helm. A neck, I don't know. But a helm, yeah. Remember I got my first helm of my warrior when I was doing SM. There's the Barrens. We're in the Barrens at the crossroads. And then from here we should go to Sunrock. Just gotta fly around the crossroads. Then we're probably gonna have to fly again, I think. It's the quest I'm picking up. See that hunter? That hunter, dude. Level 16. Barrens is a great questing zone. I miss it. Everything's just in one spot. You just sit there from like 10 all the way to 20 something. And then you have to start flying around the world. This spot was pretty good though. Terran Mill, Hammerfall. Got a decent amount of levels there. And 1,000 Needles was alright. Still need to go back there. There's some quests I'm interested in there as well. There we go. We're entering into Stone Talon Mountains. Dessos will be good. I think. Should be good. And then after Dessos, where do we go? I think Tanaris. And Tanaris will open up. Maybe... I think Ungoro Crater's at like 50 or something. You go to Ungoro. So you go to Tanaris, and then you go to Ungoro. Yeah, a lot of quests. This side, I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, then there's like Western Plaguelands, Eastern Plaguelands, Swamp of Sorrows. Yeah, we haven't even gone to Stranglethorn Vale yet. There's a lot of questing spots for us to go to. We're flying into Sunrock. Haven't been here in a long time. Magran. That's Tamra. It's our boy Magran Earthbinder.
Hail.
I am afraid that I am no longer gentle or humble. Age and countless battles have hardened my skin and soul. Perhaps that is why Karen assigned me to Sunrock Retreat. The gentle winds and warm sun does ease the pain. Calling in the reserves. The Horde does well keeping our troops fresh. Since the Great War, we have prosperous. We have been prosperous here in Kalimdor. I need you to do me a favor. I have a lad by the name of Grish Longrunner, protecting the Great Lift in the Southern Barrens. Give him this letter. The letter will let him know that I have a reserve warrior coming to relieve him of his duty so that he can visit his family. He requested this some time ago, and he would be happy to hear the news. Magran wishes you to deliver a letter to Grish Longrunner at the Great Lift in the
May
Barrens.
the eternal
Okay.
sun.
So let's go do a delivery mission. Hopefully this opens up a quest chain. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. And
Peace, friend.
yeah, so I guess we'll go down to Camp Tarajo.
Goodbye.
That's the closest place to the Great Lift, I believe. Could have went to Freewind Post. Maybe that would have been closer. The thing is, we would have flew the flying time, right? So like we're getting off. I think we get off the flight earlier, so it's probably the same thing. It's either a longer run, shorter flight, or a longer flight, shorter run. So it's pretty much, I think it's the same. Plus this flight's cheaper because we're not going as far. So we saved a little bit of coin, which is big when you want to try to get your mount. We're almost at 40 gold, which is good. We're getting there. Bellamore's research journal. I haven't looked at this. Keegan Darkmere, leader of the small group of undead who came to us in search of asylum from their brethren, defies our common attitudes towards his kind. His skin may be rotting, and blood may have long stopped flowing through his veins, but he acts very nobly and seems to care more for his compatriot's safety than his own. Indeed, there is a humanity within him that I confess I sometimes see lacking in the humans around me. But why do I mention this? I do so to give credence to what I am about to write, for these words came from Keegan's lips, and it is my hope that my colleagues will, upon reading this journal, know why I believe what he said. Remnants of the old gods still linger in the deep hollows of the world. New forces seek to harness that ancient power, and those who succeed will have a terrible weapon against their enemies. That is what Keegan uttered as he handed his bloodstone pendant to me, and there was fear and maybe reverence in his eyes as he did so. And as his hands met with mine, they lingered, as if reluctant to give up the pendant. Revulsion swept through me, yet to this day I know not if I reviled against his dead flesh pressed to mine, or if the pendant itself made my skin crawl, for I feel a power within it, a deep hidden hungry power, and one yearning for release. Although my colleagues in Dalaran were cautious to study the bloodstones that Keegan and his followers brought with them, instead quarantining the 4 refugees and leaving the bloodstones on their persons, the sincerity of Keegan obliged me to study his bloodstone pendant. My hopes were to verify for my colleagues that this type of stone did possess magical properties, and if we wizards of Dalaran did not wish to exploit the powers of the bloodstones, we should at least learn their properties, since our foes may one day use them against us. And so my studies began. I started my tests with the assumption that bloodstone was a type of rock like quartz or obsidian, so I began a series of procedures to determine what minerals were contained within the bloodstone, what forces were applied to produce its color and hardness, and other properties common to rocks and ore. But the bloodstone pendant, to my frustration, did not react to my procedures as would normal ore. In fact, it often acted in precisely the opposite fashion as expected. It was almost as if the pendant was deliberately fouling my experiments, like it was thinking and alive. Angered but not discouraged, I switched from assuming the pendant was an inert piece of rock to assuming it was a living thing, but again I failed. None of my new tests brought to light any revelations of the origin. Oh no. Here we go. Let's go to 8. None of my new tests brought to light any revelation of the origin of bloodstone. At the time, the only riddle I solved was the bloodstone was neither living nor dead. But it was then, at the brink of failure, that a breakthrough was made. My latest test involved a glass beaker whose brim was chipped, leaving a small jagged space along its edge. When the test was over, again revealing nothing, I went to clean my work table and cut myself on the beaker. The cut was not deep, but nevertheless bled fiercely. Before I could wrap my injured finger into a bandage, a good deal of my blood had spilled on my work table, and as I was cleaning up this mess, I noticed the strangest thing. The blood that had spilled near the bloodstone pendant was slowly moving toward the piece of jewelry as if gravity had somehow bent itself towards the bloodstone. The blood that touched the pendant seemed to disappear, and the red color of the stone deepened as it drank more of my blood. Oh, it's dark. Oh, oops. How many pages is this? Spilled near the bloodstone. Slowly moving towards a piece of jewelry. More of my blood. After seeing this, my head grew light, perhaps from the recent injury, though I did not believe I had lost that much blood, or perhaps because I had finally, after so much frustration, I uncovered one of the bloodstone's properties. I reached behind me for my work stool and sat down, pondering thoughts and as questions raced through my head, dizzying and threatening to topple me. Does bloodstone drink blood? Does it crave blood? Does it attract blood? Or is bloodstone made of blood? And if so, then whose blood? Mine? The blood of any human, an animal? Or maybe bloodstone is the blood of some unknown thing, the very thing that Keegan had both feared and revered when he had handed me his pendant. That is the question that must be answered. It is the key. Fire rekindled within me. I then dove back into my experiments. This time I made no assumptions, methodically performing every test at my disposal. This increased my required efforts tremendously, but I would be more likely to make discoveries. And although my lab here is small and I have no subordinates to spare to aid, I did find one more intriguing quality of bloodstone. In addition to blood, there are elemental forces used within the stone. Fire, water, thunder, and rock are mixed with the blood, but again, the blood of what? And although this mixture is outwardly inert, all these forces seem to rage inwardly against each other. So many more questions were then raised about the amazing and foreboding material. But to answer those questions, more studies and experiments must be performed on the pendant, and I fear that the Lordamere internment camp cannot marshal the manpower nor the equipment for the task. So I sent the bloodstone pendant with a courier to Dalaran with specific instructions on how to test it so they may avoid earlier frustrations. As I wanted for the results of these tests, I spent my time speaking to Keegan, although I constantly pressed him for what he knew about the bloodstone. He never told me more than what he said the day he gave me his pendant, and he did not often speak of his time within the fold of what he called the Forsaken, which is the name he calls his clan of undead. But Keegan was very eager to speak on other subjects, particularly his time growing up in Lordaeron before its fall. He still holds much love for that lost kingdom, even though it is now ruined and dead. My growing fondness for Keegan gave me patience as I waited for my last results. But after weeks of no news, my patience faltered, and upon further inquiries to Dalaran, I learned that the bloodstone never reached. Oh no. Okay, well, wait, give me a sec. Give me a sec. We'll get back to the book. I just want to talk to Grish.
How may I aid you?
You have news from Magrin Earthbinder. Magrin's reserve letter. This is great news. I have been sitting here guarding this hunk of wood for too long. Now I can spend some time with my family. Yippee.
Go in peace.
That's it? Okay, well, I guess that's it. Okay. Alright, well, that was it for that. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the book. We're too deep in it to let it go now. Gotta figure out what's going on with this bloodstone. But Keegan was very eager to speak on other subjects, particularly this time growing up in Lordaeron. Before its fall, he still holds much love for what's lost in the kingdom, even though it's now ruined and dead. My growing fondness for Keegan gave me patience, and I waited for my test results. But after weeks of no news, my patience faltered, and upon further inquiries to Dalaran, I learned that the bloodstone never reached my colleagues. My courier was somehow lost on the way, and the bloodstone pendant was lost with him. This is grave news, for although Keegan and his followers still have bloodstone specimens with which we may experiment, I fear the pendant may fall into unsavory hands. I have sent another messenger to Dalaran, and hear that even now they are scouring for the pendant in the ruins outside of the protective sphere. I only hope we're not too late. Well, I think we have it now. We have the Bloodstones. Well, the undead do, the Forsaken. It's cool how they talk about the old gods in Classic. Currently, we're in BFA. We're fighting an old god named Zoth. And the blood that's in the Bloodstone, I don't know. You'd assume maybe it's maybe the blood of Sargeras. Who knows? Here we are. There we go. We did that mission. We completed calling in the reserves. I thought that would give us more quests, but it seems it has not. Almost back at Camp Tarajo. Yeah, it's a pretty cool book. I don't know what I'm going to do with this book. Maybe I should throw it out now since we've already read it. And Bellamore was... I believe the mage that we fought in Prison Break-In quest, where we had to find the traders and recover the artifacts, and the artifacts were the Bloodstones. And that Magus Void Glare guy told us to go get it. Maybe like that's why Sylvanas is all messed up now, because she's like. Maybe she's controlled by the old gods. Who knows? You know, because she's just doing all this bad stuff in the world. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what what the case is, you know, in BFA. That Sylvanas eventually. He's just controlled by the old gods. And then the Horde have to fight her back, you know, and then Thrall becomes War Chief again. We're almost back at Camp Tarajo. Alright, we're back in Camp Tarajo. Well, that was the end of the quest, calling in the reserves. It's just a quick run-around mission. Next episode, I guess we'll find a new spot to quest. Maybe we'll head to Desolus, or maybe we will go to Thousand Needles, try to clear up some quests there. Well, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.